Uh, Jesus. Jesus. Look at this. Had no audio the whole time. Shayna Kraus, thank you so much. I'm glad that I'm only 3 minutes in, but I wasted 3 minutes. So let's start this over again, guys. Let's start this over again because this is crazy. Wow. No audio. That's the devil trying to block my blessings. That's the devil trying to stop my gains. That's the devil trying to block my blessings. But we got audio now, so let's go in. All right, so I was hit up DJ Mike. Thank you so much, man. I was contacted this morning by let's see, shout out to Ashanti, right? Ashanti is somebody that's heavy in the community, goes to a lot of the expos and attends a lot of the events and are close to a lot of people like me, the influencers that attend some of these events and put out content relative to the equipment that's out here in the industry, right? And she asked me if I was speaking at the expo. For those of you guys that don't know what's going on right now, it's an Impressions Expo in Long Beach. I think it's Impressions Expo in Long Beach, California. And shout out to everybody that's out there in Long Beach. Yeah. Some people are out there in Long Beach. Shout out to everybody that's out there. But I told her that no, I'm not speaking and I'm not going. Not because I don't want to be there, because I would love to be out there and see all the new technologies, if there are any, and be around all the equipment and shake hands and talk to people and stuff like that. But what I found was in my business, I would actually lose money when traveling to the expos that I had to fly to and then book a hotel and then pay to get in the expo and pay for my dinner and stuff like that. I would be losing money. And that's counterproductive to my business. You should definitely go to the expo if there's a piece of equipment out there that you're interested in getting, that you're interested to see how it works. If you're interested in purchasing something and want to, touch it and want to talk to some representatives, you should definitely attend the expo, right? Or any of the expos. But if you're just going there just to go, in my case, it wasn't worth it because, like I said, I was losing money. I was losing money because I wasn't at home and able to fulfill orders, right? As I got orders on my website, I wasn't available to fulfill those orders because I was away at the expo. I wasn't available to make videos like this on YouTube and other platforms that I can monetize, right? I wasn't available to do that either. So the custom orders that I do get from people calling me on my phone, I wasn't available to fulfill those. So it's like I was just losing money all the way around and putting out significantly more money, right? So I stopped going to the expos, I'd say for like 2 years now, and I only go to the Impressions Expo that's in Atlantic City, which is the less popular Impressions, to be honest with you, but it's like an hour away from me, so it's not like I have to fly there or anything. I could just drive there, spend a day there, leave. I'm not going the next day. I'm only going one day. Or sometimes if I don't have anything going on, I might go 2 days. But for the most part, it's a one-day affair for me. This thing is loud. It's calibrating. It's printing up the next set of stuff. Anyway, so what I've been seeing is a lot of the influencers or content creators or whatever you want to call them, a lot of the more popular ones aren't attending either. And I'm going to give my 2 cents on why I think that we're not going anymore, right? Because it's not just because we're losing money, right? Because before we were losing money, we were still going to these events, right? That's the bottom line. But the reason why, I'm going to put it out there, what other people are thinking and not saying, right? I'm always the one to put it out there, right? Yep, I'll be there in AC, DJ Mike. So a lot of us were feeling taken advantage of, kind of, sort of, but not even taken advantage of. We weren't like in certain instances, we're given, you know, special treatment. We're treated a certain type, not even special treatment, but just treated a certain type of way because of what we do for the industry. And let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. A lot of influencers are responsible for a lot of purchases that people make in this industry. And we are highly undervalued in this industry. And the individuals that make those purchases, they might see us and they might shake our hands and tell us, they bought this because of us, and they were influenced because of us, and they got this machine because you gave such great directions and showed them how to use it. But at the end of the day, a lot of us don't feel like we're properly compensated or even properly respected by the companies and the platforms that host these events, right? Certain companies, like, to name a few, Heat Transfer Warehouse, Racoma, and a few other companies, might treat people good. And I can only speak for myself. Treat people good, right? As far as if they have an event and stuff like that, they'll like fly you out, or have or even maybe pay you to come out to speak to people, right? But a lot of the companies, they just use you for free promotion, and they might send you an item, right? But if you guys notice, for those of you guys that are observant, you guys notice that a lot of influencers in this industry, they're just influencers and that's it. They don't actually use the equipment on a regular basis. They don't actually fulfill orders. They just get stuff for free, right? They show you how to use it, make a light video on and touch the surface on how to use the stuff, but they don't actually run a business, right? And I think that's changing. I think a lot of influencers are starting to run businesses, right? But a lot of them are staying on that influencer side and just riding the wave of getting new stuff and showing you guys how to use it, which is very valuable. Very valuable. We need people in both spaces. But for the people that are in the space of sticking to just influencing and getting products and showing the products, the companies that are selling the products, as well as the venues that are the organizations that are hosting these impressions expos, these ISS shows, and these what's the other one called? GPX Expo, whatever is graphics expo. A lot of those companies, they don't. A lot of those hosting the expos themselves, they don't roll out the red carpet for us, right? They don't give us the respect that we deserve for what we do, as far as helping them to sell products, right? And influencing other people to buy those products and showing other people. It's one thing to send somebody something for free, right? But it's a whole nother thing to know the return that you're going to get on that investment of sending them something for free. And quite frankly, to be 100% honest with you guys, because I look at the back end of I have access to some of the company's back end so I can see what I've done for them versus what I've been paid, right? In some cases on commission. And what we do versus what we get is a large gap. There's a large gap. And it's obvious because if you guys are looking at what's happened in the last couple years, a company will get an influencer, and then they'll get another influencer before you know that everybody's advertising for that specific company, right? Or some companies now, what they do is they'll get the most popular influencer, the one that's popping the most, which makes sense, right? But at the end of the day, what we're getting versus what we're giving is the math isn't mathing. So for somebody who has an influencer business, or for somebody who has an influencer business as well as to fulfill orders and stuff like that online, it has to make sense. It has to make sense to attend these expos. And if you're not benefiting from it, whether it be learning something, or whether it be like a company flying you down and paying for your expenses, even a company flying you down and paying for your expenses, even that's not compensation, because at the end of the day, you're still going to lose money if you're getting orders at home and people might be canceling orders because you're not there to fulfill them, right? If you're the person that's running the business, you're still going to be losing money, even if they fly you out, even if they pay for your hotel. If you're spending 4 to 5 days in California, for this instance, that's a week worth of orders that you couldn't fulfill. And now you're either going to get home and be backed up and have some angry customers, or you're going to come home, and while you're there, you're going to be canceling a whole bunch of orders that that could have been money in your business's pocket, right? So, yeah, it goes a lot deeper than what I'm saying. And if you're an influencer, you can tag in, or maybe you can make your own video talking about this. But until things start to change in this industry, it's just gonna be like it's gonna change a lot, and it already has. And I'm sure that you guys that watch this type of content have noticed it's already changed a lot. Like, we started off just there's no game plan, right? So we're just doing a thing, right? We start off showing off all these pieces of equipment, and companies, you gain popularity and companies sent you free stuff, and like you would make videos showing how to use it. And we were kind of like the instruction manual. We were the instruction manual, and we were the technical assistants for a lot of these companies. We were the service department for a lot of companies. And after a while, you start feeling that. You start feeling like, yo, I am not tech support. Like, and people like will contact you in kind of like a demanding way when they have an issue. And sometimes, like, depending on how they approach you, I don't work for them, right? I don't work for this company, right? Like, I just made a video showing you how to do this thing, and yeah, I can make another video answering that question, but you have to approach the person properly, knowing that they're not being compensated for this information that they're giving you. And they haven't been compensated. They might have a free piece of equipment that they hardly ever use. They probably use it a few times to make a video. But like I said, it's like, I don't even think it's 50-50. It's more like 80% of people to get this stuff don't really use it to make money. They use it they monetize it on their platforms, and they use it to make stuff for their friends and family maybe. But I don't think a lot of people are using it for its intended purposes. So just pay attention to what you see online, and really digest what's going on in the space so you can understand and be more sympathetic to the people that are putting this information out there and putting themselves forward on camera and giving you this information, and understand that they don't have to be doing this, right? But they do it because, like people like me, I do it because I like it. Like, the money and the influencer field, a lot of it has dried out. And that's because right now, not only is the economy messed up, but because of the economy messed up, people are not spending as much money as they used to. The government is not giving out, as much money as they were before, like pre-COVID and COVID. Everybody was like rolling in dough, right? But now, even a lot of the companies, I think, are strapped. And I'm not going to name any companies' names, but I'm sure you guys can see it. It's kind of obvious. Well, it's more obvious if you're in the space versus from outside looking in, but a lot of them are strapped. Look, the baby's booty, shout out to the baby's booty. She said, yes, it has dried up. But one thing's for sure, if you are a person that's utilizing your equipment and you've created some type of income on the side utilizing your equipment, you're okay. Like, that's why I always say I thank God that I wasn't going crazy out here buying a bunch of, shoes and leather jackets, and didn't buy a fast car. I did kit up my Jeep. I'm not gonna lie. I did some stuff on my truck, but I use my truck for advertising, right? I got my DTF AlanAwade.com, DTF transfers on the back of the truck or whatever. And before I had the Dub Nation on the front, I took that down because stuff started getting weird driving around town. I started to feel like people were watching me and knowing where I was at, so I took that down. But I did have a little bit of fun. But for the most part, I bought equipment. I bought equipment because I knew that it was gonna drop. It wasn't gonna last forever. Look, equipment that I'm talking to you guys on. All my sound equipment. I upgraded stuff that I had. Sublimation printer over here, white toner over there, white toner in the studio, embroidery machines, another EM1010, vinyl cutters. I bought a lot of the stuff that you guys see me looking with the money that I was making while stuff was flowing, right? So a lot of people didn't do that, and it might be certain elements in their businesses or in their studios or in their workspaces that won't allow them to be as efficient as they need to be to actually take on orders. But you can still do what you can, and if you're one of those people that are able to do what you can, you will still make a nice amount of money fulfilling orders. But let's face it, a lot of people don't want to fulfill orders. A lot of people are not the person that they want to, answer customers' questions and answer. It's one thing to make a video. It's a whole nother thing to humble yourself, to talk to customers, to put the customer first, and to actually take the time out to make a quality product, to take the time out to fulfill orders in a timely manner. It's really totally different from being in front of a camera and just talking about the equipment, right? And a lot of people don't want to do that because it's easier to get up here and just make a video and be the star of the video and look nice and look handsome in the guy's case or look cute in the girl's case. It's easier to do that than to actually build and grow a business. That's the hard part. Go out and find new clients, advertise, figure out what you're doing wrong, and try to adjust that so that you can get more business. That's hard. It's difficult. And every time you're trying to do something goes wrong, and you have to problem solve on the fly to get these orders out on time. That's hard. All right, that's the hard part. Getting a piece of equipment, doing an unboxing video, and just reading some instructions or talking to the company, and the company walk you through, and you just show the thing printing one time, and you sit at the side. That's easy, right? And getting all the latest, greatest technology, but actually stuff that really matters, stuff that will help you guys. That's the stuff that really matters. Like actually running a business and talking about the issues that people might have. Like, for example, in the last live, I just told you guys about how I underpriced myself and I didn't anticipate not having all the threads. And then out of my 7 machines, I can only run 1 because, all that stuff is valuable stuff that you're going to face in your business. Angel B Designs, shout out to Angel B Designs. She's got a new workspace and she's been pumping out orders on a regular basis, so she can vouch for what I'm talking about. She says, I walked away from glitz and glam of influencing when I realized companies had favorites. There you go. Machines, materials I take now, I actually use. Exactly. And I've been seeing you getting busy in your new workspace. And I can talk. It's just like I did the same thing. I'm gonna be 100% transparent. When I got my workspace, I did it for all the wrong reasons, and that's why I backed out of it after a while. I had these grand plans of having people coming in and doing these classes and stuff like that, but I wasn't prepared for that. So I honestly got my studio space for YouTube because it looked good on YouTube, right? And it looked good for a while, but I tried to do something that I didn't know how to do. And I'm glad I did it, though. I'm glad I did it because you guys can learn from it. I hired somebody, didn't have any business hiring anybody because I didn't need to hire anybody at the time. Because at the time, let's face it, the reality is, at the time when I got my studio, I was actually a content creator that got orders occasionally. I didn't need a big workspace. Only reason why I needed a big workspace, which I didn't, I could have just did the same thing with a storage unit, because I was accumulating too much stuff and I wanted to buy more stuff. I needed somewhere to put it, to house it, right? So in the process, I'm like, okay, well, I make more than enough money to afford this place comfortably, so let me try to find a space. right? I got the space, moved some stuff in, and now I'm looking at this big space with some stuff in there, and I'm like, oh, I need to fill up the space. All right, so I bought more stuff and more stuff and more stuff and more stuff. Before I know it, the space was overfill, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And the space was not giving me a return on my investment, right? And then I hired somebody who was paying them too much money, and they weren't giving me any return on my investment. So I was losing. So I lucked up and I was able to get out of that space, and now I'm operating lean, and I'm making more money than when I had the space. And quite frankly, I think I can concentrate more because I don't have the stress of having to pay rent every month, right? So I don't have the stress of that on my shoulder. So yeah. But let's get back to the topic. A lot of people aren't going, like, another thing that I experienced at the expos, right? And it might just be me. I can only speak for myself. Was I'll say certain vendors for certain companies. I said it in a video before, but I'm not gonna sit here and name companies. You guys can experience it for yourself. Certain vendors from certain high-end, popular, blank apparel wholesale companies were kind of snobby and kind of like talked to you in a condescending manner, and that didn't rub me the right way. So that's another reason why I wouldn't go to, like, I just would avoid certain vendors altogether because of experiences that I've had with them on multiple occasions. So not only are we as influencers encouraging people to use this stuff, showing people the new technologies and showing them what to buy and walking them to the doors of these companies, and they're making money off of our backs and we're not being compensated for it. But now, as recent as yesterday, I'm getting emails telling me, hey, come speak at this expo. Hey, here's a free ticket to attend the expo. But that's nice and all, but like when I attend the expo, there's nothing special for me to be there, especially being as though having the impact that I think that I have in this space, right? And I think a lot of people are feeling that way, and a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm not doing anything further unless it affects me and affects my business. Because at the end of the day, guys, what you guys have to remember is that influencers are regular people, right? They got bills to pay too, right? They got to make money, right? So it's like, if one thing stops, then it doesn't make sense anymore. So we have to pivot and do something else that does make sense, right? And one thing that's always going to make sense is having your actual business that you run, right? And if it's not making sense anymore for you to show off all this equipment to have a company get rich off of your labor to solve all their problems for them, and to so they can cut costs in their tech support department, because we're now tech support, right? And we're not getting compensated for it. So it's like, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, right? And attending these expos is just one thing that I found, like, now that I've transitioned more into fulfilling orders and concentrating more on my business, it didn't make sense anymore, you know? And I'm glad I did it, because one thing that nobody can change in your life is the business that you've created and the clients that you have and the relationships that you've cultivated. They can't take that away from you, right? But when they choose to stop compensating influencers and stop having their events where they fly you out and stuff like that, and and when they, quite frankly, when they start to offer the service that you're offering, right? When they start offering the services that you're offering to your clients, now they're trying to replace you also on every aspect. So they're not paying you anymore. They're not pushing your videos. They're not promoting your videos anymore. They're not you know, in a lot of cases, they're not sending you any more products. They're not paying their affiliate commission obligations properly. And they're now starting to infringe on the business that you've created, right? It's the wild, wild west out here, guys. You got companies, and this is how you can tell they're scrambling, because they're offering all types of services that they've never offered before, right? You got big companies that don't specialize in a thing. I'm not gonna say it. You guys saw offering gang sheets now. Y'all selling gang sheets now? What? I thought y'all saw. Wild out here. Wild out here. Whatever makes a dollar, that's what they're doing. They don't care if they step on your toes. They'll sell you some rhinestones and offer your customers the rhinestone template at the same time. They'll sell you they'll sell you an embroidery machine, and they'll take your clients and undercut you. They'll sell you some DTF film and some ink, and then they'll come out with a gang sheet builder and come out with doing the same thing that you're doing. So it's like, it's so weird out here. It's so weird out here, and it doesn't make. It's like, hold up. So you want to supply me and you want to take my customers at the same time? They'll sell you T-shirts. They'll sell you shirts, and then they'll offer your customers the shirt decorated already, and you can get to be the one-stop shop. So it's like, if you're gonna fulfill the order and sell the product, what's the point of me using you as a resource to get my products from? So it's like there's no loyalty out here, guys. There's no loyalty out here. It's cold-blooded. And what I will tell you is, be careful where you shop, right? That's why I like to I kind of like to shop other places other than Amazon. I know a lot of us get crazy on Amazon for everything. But just be careful where you shop, because if you don't agree with a company being the monopoly, then you have to spread your money around. You have to spread your money around. So if everybody's shopping at Ninja Transfers, if everybody's shopping at TKO Transfers, then eventually they're gonna own everything, to be quite frank. And like, we're all gonna be scrambling over 2% of the transfer orders. So just spread your money around. It's always good to have options. And if you're not spreading your money around, as time goes on, you'll have less and less and less options, because there's already people stepping out of the DTF game. I've seen on Facebook Marketplace, as well as other platforms, Facebook groups, a lot of DTF printers up for sale. So also be careful the equipment that you buy, because you're going to waste a lot of money. And be careful of the people that you listen to and take advice from, especially if they're not doing the thing that they're telling you to do, especially if that wasn't the path that they took to get to the point where they are, right? Well, so you guys know I started off with a single needle embroidery machine, worked my way up, and I've pretty much had almost every machine out there, right? As far as every medium for garment decorating, short of laser. I don't have that much experience with laser. I do have an X-Tool M1 and I do have an X-Tool D1, but I'm not, like, my experience in laser isn't that vast, which I want to, but I'm not going there right now, because it's not necessary, because I can do what I need to do. I can do those things that I want to do with a laser with a vinyl cutter, right? So I don't feel the need to spend an enormous amount of money on a big, nice laser, because I don't need it, right? So be careful of what you do. Be careful of the money that you spend, especially now. But it is a good idea to still get into the stuff that you want to, because especially if you want to give it a try, it's definitely a good idea, because life is short and you don't want to go on thinking what it would have been like if you would have tried it. You want to go ahead and try it to see if it's for you. And if it's not for you, just sell your stuff or get rid of your stuff or sell it to somebody else who's interested in it. But it's always worth taking a try at everything, no matter what it is, to see if you like it. It's worth the investment, because guess what? If you think you wasted money buying equipment that you're not using anymore, you really didn't, because you just learned a valuable lesson that you wouldn't have ever learned unless you spent that money, right? And those lessons in life are priceless, right? No matter how much money you spend, nobody can take away the information that you know, right? So you can step in a room with somebody that does that business, and even though you don't do it anymore, you have an idea of what's going on. And when you want to utilize those services of people that are still doing that thing that you used to do, you have an idea of how their operation is. You know exactly what to send them, so your transaction can go a lot smoother. All right. So yeah, a lot of us aren't at the expos anymore because we don't feel it's necessary, and it ties up a lot of our time, and it's not beneficial to us in any way, right? Like I said, unless you have something that you're interested in seeing there. If you have something that you're interested in seeing, something that you're interested in purchasing, it's definitely worth going. If you are somebody who needs to be recharged in your business and needs to get a boost, and be around people that are in the industry, then yeah, maybe you should go. But other than that, I'm speaking for myself and maybe some influencers. Like, a lot of us aren't going anymore because like it's just not. What's the point? Like we saw all the machines. We did the dance with the companies. The companies are stepping on our toes. They're fulfilling orders now. It's like, why? I'm gonna go over there and smile, and while y'all make the money, and we're not being compensated for anything, and we're gonna go promote your product and be your customer support and show people how to use the product properly, and while you just collect the money and fulfill our orders from our businesses because you offer the same services that you're selling us the equipment for, and the vinyl and the inks and the film. You're selling it to us for us to do what? Because you're taking our customers. Like it's wild out here. So yeah, that's why a lot of us aren't at the expos anymore, because murky waters out here, murky waters, and it's savage out here. And that's why the content has switched up a lot too, because I refuse to be your customer service if I'm not getting compensated for it. So yeah. What do Ron Derek Henry says, what do you recommend to cut applique if not laser? Well, it depends on the material that you're cutting. See what I mean? It depends on the material that you're cutting. If you're cutting tackle tool, use a vinyl cutter. So it depends on what you're cutting. If you're cutting applique, if you don't have a laser, good old scissors never fails. It's not efficient, but unless you're getting hundreds of orders, then what do you care about efficiency? Like, if you're getting 1 order a week or 2 orders a week or even 5 orders a week on that specific applique design, then is it worth getting a laser? I would say not. Like, if you have a large applique store with a bunch of applique products and you're getting frequent orders and you want to pre-cut the applique designs and have them sitting to the side, maybe it is worth it, right? If you're selling laser products, in addition to those, just cutting applique. If you're just cutting applique, I don't know, it depends on how much business you have. But if you're cutting applique as well as getting regular orders for the laser items like the leatherette patches, and you're carving stuff out, and you're like engraving on different stones and metals and stuff like that, and selling those on a regular basis, maybe laser is good for you. But other than that, if you can do things other ways and be more economical while you grow, then it makes sense, right? But yeah, long story short, I'm not tech support. Love helping you guys. Loved it. It's been a great journey. But as far as my business is concerned, I got the business hat on right now. I want to show you guys and teach you guys the business stuff that I'm learning, and it's more beneficial to you. The other stuff, there's going to be people that take our places that will walk here and take your hand, hold your hand, and show you how to use that stuff. They're online already. They're available. Companies are going to push their videos to the top, because guess what? If you're promoting my product and making videos about my product, I put some marketing dollars behind your videos and push you to the top so I can get more sales too, because that's a huge return on investment. I've seen companies grow huge, you know, get very, very profitable, very, very in a short amount of time off of the videos that we've created. All right. So just some stuff to think about, guys. But thank you so much for watching. If you are an influencer, you can add to that in the comments down below. But it's not messed up. It's just business. It's just business. Pooch Crafty Creation says it's messed up. It is messed up, but you can't. It's nothing you can cry about. There's nothing you can cry about. You just gotta keep it moving and move accordingly, right? You can't do things. You can't do the same thing the same way and expect different results, right? You gotta. Thank you so much, Ron Derrick, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You can't do things the same way expecting different results. You have to move with the times in order to keep your head above water. You have to reinvent yourself. You have to rethink the way you're doing things if it's not working for you financially anymore, right? You got to keep on evolving because this industry is going to evolve. Companies are going to evolve, and companies are darn sure going to do what they need to do to remain profitable, and also to pay for their overhead and to pay their employees. They got responsibilities too, just like we got responsibilities, because the people behind those companies are regular people just like you and me. So they have responsibilities and they have to do what they have to do. So that's why I said it's just business. It's just business. They have to do what they need to do. And I respect it. I respect it because why? You and I would do the same thing that we need to do. We would do what we have to do in order to keep a roof over our head. So it's just life. It's just business. And you have to adjust and you have to do things in a way that makes sense for you in your life, in your business, right? And when one thing isn't working anymore, you got to shift, all right? Hope that makes sense, guys. Hope you guys got something out of it. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below.